welcome to the No Spin News. Tuesday, January 30th, 2024. Stand up for your country. We got two big stories in motion. And as you may know, we tape late afternoon. Sometimes, the news breaks after we're off. But we are following these stories very intensely. The first one is the border bill. All right, Joe Biden trying to save his administration and the Democratic Party backing him up with some kind of new bill that would tighten up the border. We don't know what's in it, but we are on it, and we will have the latest. Also, what kind of military action will America take against Iran? Joe Biden has to do something, doesn't want to, admits he doesn't want to, but he has to, after 3 American service people were killed on Sunday by Iranian proxies. So let's begin with the southern border. That is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. Well, this bill is a mystery. There's only been one leak. I'll get to that in a moment. But there is a huge pushback on ideological grounds. So Donald Trump, conservatives, Republicans, they don't want to let Biden, to use a cliche, off the hook. So for 3 years, Joe Biden has destroyed national security by failing to enforce immigration law. There's no two sides to that story. So now Biden's trying to save himself by pushing some bill into Congress. Okay, but you don't take sides till you know what the bill says. Of course, that doesn't stop the dishonest media and dishonest politicians. They'll take sides because they don't care. I do. I care. So NBC and CBS are reporting, based on anonymous sources, which we never use here. Okay, they're reporting that there is in the bill a trigger to stop anyone from coming across the border if crossings reach 8,500 in a day or 5,000 a day over a 7-week period. Very confusing. Okay, but this eliminates my vote if I'm in Congress. I'm not going to give you come on in up to a certain point every day, and then we release you into the country to do whatever you want to do. I'm not voting for that. Would you? Would you vote for that? Let me just give you the math on it. If you allowed 5,000 migrants in a day, that would be almost 2 million a year. And who's going to count the migrants, by the way? It's a pretty big border, about 3,000 miles. So if I see that in a bill, I'm not voting for the bill. Okay? It's pretty simple. But I don't know if it's in the bill or not. So it's got to come out this week because the Senate is set to vote on it next week. And the Senate will probably pass it, I guess, because most Democrats, they control the Senate. But Trump is telling all Republicans, don't vote for the bill. But Trump doesn't know what's in it yet. Hold your fire. Okay. So last night I'm on News Nation, and I do News Nation at the 7 o'clock program on Monday and the Cuomo 8 o'clock program on Wednesday. And the ratings for my segments are very good. And you should watch them because there's a good back and forth. So Leland Vittert, former Fox guy, runs the 7 o'clock hour on News Nation. He's saying, well, there's a strategy. This is a strategy by the Biden administration. And that's true. But here's how I answered that question. Go. So what do you mean, Biden's strategy? What strategy? I failed with the economy, 17% inflation for necessities. I failed at the border. I failed keeping the peace around the world. I failed controlling government spending. What's the strategy, Leland? What's he going to run on? I don't go to work 3 out of 7 days. Nobody knows where I am today, Monday. Where is he today? Nobody knows. It's insane. He's got nothing to run on. Keep that in mind, that even if a bill would pass, a watered-down border security bill, which the media desperately wants to happen, okay, Biden is still an abject failure. Okay, and anybody who doesn't know that doesn't want to know it. And we'll get to that at the back end of the program. All right, but keep this in mind. About 25% of our fellow countrymen and women want an open border. 1 out of 4. They want it for a variety of reasons. So this data comes to us from CRC Research. It's a conservative group tied in with the Federalist Society. All right. So the question was, would you more or less be likely to support a candidate who says that immigration is healthy for the U.S. and we should keep open borders? Okay, total. More likely to support the candidate, 35%, less likely, 57%, unsure 9. Republicans, more likely 18%. That's a high number. I don't believe 18% of Republicans want an open border. Less likely 78, unsure 5. Democrats, more likely 55%. Less likely 36, unsure 5. Okay, I believe the Democrat number. There are progressive leftists, excuse me, who want to change the demographic of America so that the so-called white patriarchy is dissolved. And the only way you do that is by allowing a massive amount of people of color and foreign nationals into the country. That's how you do it. And that's the thinking. Got to get rid of the white men. All right? So we'll do it by opening the border. Now, just the fact that I said that, I'm a racist. See, that's the defense. Everybody knows what I'm saying is true. But if you say it aloud, you're a racist. So I don't care anymore. Okay? I give more money, charitable money, to minorities than any other journalist alive. I'll challenge any journalist up against my foundation. So call me whatever you want to call me. Anyway, this whole thing is white hot, and we are on it. And I don't think the new border bill is going to pass, because if it was strong and it did stop dead the migrants coming here, which Joe Biden could do by executive order could do it. Doesn't need a legislation, okay? But they don't want to stop it. Biden does not want to stop it. If he did, it would have stopped a long time ago. That's a memo. All right, Biden today, in the face of military action against Iran, is raising money in Florida. Not a good look for the whole world, not just for the country. So Joe Biden has said now to the press, he knows what he's going to do to Iran. I mean, he knows what he's going to do. He won't tell us, and that's smart. Why would you tip off the mullahs? Don't tell anybody. But he said, I know what we're going to do. But in the meantime, I'm going to go down to Florida and get money for me and my reelection Democratic Party. Not a good look. Not surprised. So the 3 U.S. Service people in Jordan are identified now. Sergeant William Jerome Rivers, 46 years old, Georgia. Specialist Kennedy Sanders, 24, Georgia. Brianna Moffitt, 23, Georgia. Okay, we were very, very sorry for that. So they're dead. 40 others injured by a drone. And now the Pentagon admits that they should have shot down that drone, but they thought it was a friendly. Mistakes are made in war, I understand, but that's a pretty big mistake. Okay, so Biden announced right before tape time, he's going to go Friday to Dover, Delaware, where KIAs, killed in action, come back to the United States and meet with the families. That's a good thing. Not criticizing Biden for doing it. Has to do it. The optics would be insane. Has to do it. But it's a good thing that he does. This is disturbing. So often I'll run a soundbite because I believe that our president is in the early stage dementia. That's where he is. And I run sound bites to back up what I'm saying. Well, his spokesperson, Karine Jean-Pierre, certainly is not in early stage dementia. Yet some of her answers to questions are bizarre. Go.
Our deepest, obviously, our deepest condolences go out, and our heartfelt condolences go out to the families who lost three folks who are military folks, who are brave, who are always fighting, who are fighting on behalf of this administration, of the American people. Obviously, more importantly.
That's embarrassing. That makes Kamala Harris look like me. Okay. That's embarrassing. But she could not articulate the sympathies of the Biden administration about the 3 deaths. The woman could not do it. And she's the chief White House spokesperson. Okay. Mayorkas update. He's going to be impeached. There isn't a Republican in the House that's going to vote against impeaching him, because that would disqualify them from being a Republican. So every Republican in the House of Representatives is going to vote to impeach Alejandro Mayorkas, head of Homeland Security. That should happen anytime. Has to happen this week, because there'll be a full House vote next week. It will be interesting to see if any Democrats vote for impeaching Mayorkas. Now, we know the Senate's not going to vote to convict. Never in a million years would they. Because you're really convicting Joe Biden, because Mayorkas does what he's told. But in the House, are any Democrats going to say, yeah, the guy won't do his job and has led to hundreds of thousands of deaths over the years, the 3-year period, drug ODs, cartel murders, you name it. Okay? So he's got to get out of there. One Democrat in the House going to do that? I don't know. So that's in play. Donald Trump. You may remember that in October, let me get the date here. I don't even know if I have the date. I don't have the date at my fingertips. I should have it, but I don't. So a man named Littlejohn, okay? Charles Littlejohn. There's Charles, 38 years old, working for the IRS as a consultant. In 2017, he signed on, and then he leaked Donald Trump's income tax returns, along with Senator Rick Scott, Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, Michael Bloomberg, Elon Musk, on and on and on, and a whole bunch of them. And he leaked it to the New York Times. So now he's been convicted of that. 1 count only. He could have been charged with 30 counts because of all these other people. But the Justice Department, count him at 1 count. Got convicted, got 5 years, the max. The judge was so appalled by what the guy did. Now, the guy says, I did it for the good of the country. They all do that. But now he says he's sorry because he's going to federal prison for 5 years. All right? And he should. Now, he leaked it to the New York Times. The New York Times doesn't like the fact that he was charged and convicted. Now, the New York Times, you have to go back to the Pentagon Papers. You have to go back to all of that. The federal courts don't like to charge the media. Okay. A operation called ProPublica. Remember that? ProPublica. Very, very far left organization. They did 50 stories embarrassing all of these people that Littlejohn leaked their tax returns. 50. So just keep that in mind the next time you hear the words ProPublica, for the public. No. These people who got their tax returns leaked are the public. Got it? Now, what would I do? Say Charles Littlejohn called me up and said, I got Trump's tax return and all these tax returns. You want to see them? Now, I know it's illegal because you can't do that, right? And I would say, no, I don't want to see them because I'm not going to participate in a crime. I said, but if you want to send me a memo, all right, telling me what you learned in a non-specific way, I'll take a look at the memo. But I don't want numbers. I don't want any of that. Okay? Then if I thought there was some kind of criminality involved on the part of the people that Little John was ratting on, then I would tell you, and I wouldn't tell you how. I'd say, look, this might want to be looked into. You can do this kind of reporting without breaking the law. New York Times should know that, but they don't because they don't care. Now, if somebody leaked to the New York Times Joe Biden's tax, and they're public, but say he did something wrong on the tax realm, he and Hunter, and say the Times got it. You think the Times is going to put that out there? I don't know. They might. Your safety is important, and I am happy to introduce you to Burna, a self-defense solution that will help keep you and your family safe. Burna offers a powerful, non-lethal pistol with tear gas, pepper, irritants, and kinetic projectiles that disable attackers for 30 to 40 minutes. It's all legal in every state, and no background checks are required. And they ship directly to your door, very private. They are American-made in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and are trusted by U.S. government agencies and hundreds of police departments. If you are a gun owner, you need options. Avoid the complexities that come with taking a life and having to defend your freedom in court. And if you're adverse to firearms, Burna is a good alternative solution. So please visit Burna.com/Bill to receive a 10% discount. That's BYRNA.com/Bill. Stay safe with Burna. Okay, let's go to the mail. We got Tanya. Bill, you said it's very important that Republicans win the congressional majority. Are they going to do that when the RNC has no money? And Tanya, the RNC has a lot of money. And political action committees supporting the Republican Party are loaded. So they'll have $1 billion they can spend. Charles, you say Governor Abbott must comply with the Supreme Court's decision guarding the southern border. Otherwise, the governor could be jailed. Does this logic apply to President Biden? So I'm glad you wrote. We, I think, went over it in minute detail with our guest tonight. And there's a mechanism to punish President Biden, but his party will not cooperate. Tom Christensen, Sandy, Utah. What a phony Biden is. First day in office, he signed an executive order reversing Trump remain in Mexico policy. Now he wants us to believe he can't do anything about the border without new legislation. Why doesn't he sign an executive order? Of course. Any intelligent person knows what this is. It's a giant charade. Lisa Mahorny, Lexington, Kentucky. I heard you say, O'Reilly, if Trump is president, he would broker peace between Russia and Ukraine. How can that happen when Putin needs to hang for war crimes? Because Putin's never going to hang for war crimes until his own people turn against him. Well, that's it. As long as the Russian people support Putin, not hanging for anything, not going on trial for anything. Michael D. Leonardo, Toms River, New Jersey. If everything is Iran-backed, isn't it time to hit the head of the snake and start World War III? You've got to be careful now. You can do it. Read Killing the Killers. Absolutely surgically hurt them. But you go in heavy, World War III. Richard Brecht, Bradenton, Florida. Are there no statute of limitations involving a civil lawsuit? How is it possible to file against President Trump if this Carroll thing occurred in 1996? Because New York State, the progressive loons, opened it up for a year. They said, even in 1814, if something happened to you in New York State, you can try it in civil court. Absolutely. That's what they did. And that's what happened. She exploited it. Kathleen Babcock, Middletown, Rhode Island. Please list some balanced conservative colleges for my history-loving grandson. So, Kathleen, I'm going to give you one, but this is a concierge member request. Okay? So concierge members get this kind of a service. I don't do this for the general public. But right down the road from you is a school called Salve Regina University. Excellent school. But if you got to be a concierge member if you want me to take a look at what your son's resume is and where he might want to go. That's concierge. Rodney, thank you for your daily briefs, Bill, as well as your No Spin News. We would have no idea what is really happening around our country if not for you. I appreciate that because that is the service that we provide. Wayne Gooch, Durham, North Carolina. I have followed you since the 90s, just recently subscribed to BillO'Reilly.com. Glad you're in, Wayne. I've read every book in the Killing series, and the Trump book is well outstanding. So you got Confronting the Presidents coming on up in September. All right? No spin assessments from Washington to Biden. Now, if you pre-order on BillO'Reilly.com, and we hope you do, we don't charge you until we ship you the book. So you do not pay until the book is issued. If you re-up or sign up for membership on BillO'Reilly.com, you get this book free when it comes out in early September. You know, get online. There's going to be a lot of pre-orders for Confronting the Presidents. It's really, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, okay? No skullduggery. I love that, skullduggery. When writing to me, Bill@BillO'Reilly.com, Bill@BillO'Reilly.com. Name and town if you wish to opine. Back with a final thought. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation supports America's greatest heroes, U.S. service members, and first responders who gave their lives, those catastrophically injured in the line of duty, and homeless vets. The Foundation's Gold Star Fallen First Responder and Homeless Vet programs honor the sacrifices made by men who fought and died for us, and women who risked their lives for our country as well. The Foundation's Never Forget program engages people in 9/11 remembrances across America with more than 80 runs, walks, and dozens of golf outings every year. The Tunnel to Towers 9/11 Institute educates kids from kindergarten through 12th grade about America's darkest day, while helping our nation keep its vow to never forget. So please support Tunnel to Towers. Donate $11 a month. Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. More than 95 cents of every dollar you donate to Tunnel to Towers goes to its programs. That's T, the number 2, another T.org. Debt. You go to bed and wake up thinking about it. Here is the truth. The system traps you in debt. High interest credit cards and loans make it nearly impossible to pay it off. And insane inflation keeps you stuck paycheck to paycheck. Done with Debt is your lifeline. Done with Debt has a new strategy to help you erase debt faster and easier than you thought. It analyzes all the debt options you qualify for. They know how to reduce bills and cut interest rates. Their skilled staff of negotiators know how to get your debt out of your life without bankruptcy and without a loan. Done with Debt are the experts in brilliant strategies for eliminating debt. Here's how easy they make it. Go to donewithdebt.com. That's donewithdebt.com. Okay, final thought, irrational people. I've gone over this and I get a lot of mail. It's heartbreaking if you have an irrational person in your family. A child, a parent, brother, sister. It's heartbreaking. My philosophy in the family is to ignore the irrationality unless it hurts people. If it's just the ravings of a far right person or a far left person, they're not hurting anybody, let it go. Be kind. Stay away from the, change the subject, whatever. Family, try to keep the family together. If it's outside, a close friend, then you got to do the same thing you do in the family. But if it isn't, I'm telling you to wave goodbye. Irrational people, people who believe what they want to believe, no matter what the evidence is, not worth it. Not worth it. You got to seek out people who are clear thinking and sincere. Differences of opinion are great. And there are many, many issues where you can have valid opinions on both sides. But if somebody is a loon, why do you want to hang with them? That's the final thought. Thank you for watching and listening to the No Spin News. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.